Joining us tonight is John Bash. He's U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Texas, and it is great to have you with us, John.
Thank you, Lou.
The stories that are coming to us now from the border, the surge that is extraordinary in the number of people and the new ways in which they are defrauding the Customs and Border Protection and Citizenship and Immigration Services is astonished, particularly the cry for asylum.
That's absolutely right, Lou. I mean, I hope your viewers, and I'm sure they do, understand the nature of the crisis we have right now. We have so many families flooding across the border, all over the southern border, that it's pulling Border Patrol resources out of the field to take care of these families. And, you know, that's a humanitarian imperative. We have to take care of the families. We have to take care of these little babies. But what that means is that there's fewer people in the field to actually interdict drug traffickers, gang members, all sorts of violent criminals that can now come into the country more easily. It's a huge, huge problem, and people aren't paying enough attention to it.
And Tom Homan, the former acting Immigration Customs Enforcement Director, here calling last night, calling for an absolute quick turnaround, moving immigration judges to the border. It's instead of sitting far away from the problem, getting out there and start turning those cases around immediately, irrespective of the backlog. Just move in and get it done. How helpful do you think that would be?
Well, it would be hugely helpful to have a more expeditious process for processing these asylum claims. Right now, only 13% of the people that show up at the border and claim asylum actually win that claim at the end of the day. But because we have an 800,000 or 900,000 case backlog, just making the claim almost guarantees you the opportunity to live and work in the United States outside of detention for years. That is what we call the pull factor. That is what is driving people to come to the border, cross it illegally, and make an asylum claim, because they know even if the claim has no merit, they can be here for years. And that's the problem at the core of our immigration system right now. And Lou, just to be very clear, you know who that hurts the most? It's legitimate asylum seekers, because now they have to wait for years until they can get certainty that they can stay here.
And this is relatively easily fixed, as Tom Homan points out. This just is a matter of willpower within the permanent bureaucracy itself.
Absolutely.
And this business in New Mexico, for example, where the governor there, she pulled the guard off the line. The checkpoints are no more there. Now, I don't know who paid her off or if she was paid off, but I do know this, that means the cartels are controlling both sides of the New Mexico border as a result. What can we do about that?
Well, that checkpoint issue is a big problem, and that's the same exact problem we were just talking about, which is Border Patrol agents and CBP officers are being pulled out of the field. They're closing down checkpoints because they have to care for this influx of families. So what we need more than anything is, one, asylum reform, process those claims a lot quicker, grant good claims, reject bad claims, but we also need more physical infrastructure and communications technology down at the border. You know, I hear these so-called experts say the wall doesn't work. If you go out and talk to any Border Patrol agent in the field, he or she will tell you if we have a wall near an urban center, that makes a huge difference for us, because illegal immigrants can't just walk into a city and disappear around a corner or get in a car. They actually have to go around into less populated areas, or they have to try to climb over, or they simply can't pass. Any Border Patrol agent will tell you we need more physical barriers down at the border.
And the president has been telling the country that for over almost 3 years now. It is 3 years now. That we desperately need that border. It's a national emergency. The Border Patrol, as you say, are the ones that he relied on for counsel on that wall. And right now, we can't even get enough manpower to proceed with the Remain in Mexico policy that would leave those folks in Mexico with a Ninth Circuit Court victory. We still don't have the leadership in place to move the Border Patrol in that direction.
That's right, Lou, and thank God for that victory in the Ninth Circuit. So many other policies that would actually make a real dent in this immigration problem have been enjoined by a single judge sitting somewhere, and joins it nationwide. And at least for the time being, the Ninth Circuit has put back in place that Wait in Mexico policy. But as you said, getting the policy back in place legally is only one step. We actually need the resources to implement that policy.
And of course, we didn't even get to the issue of interior enforcement, which is also part of the solution.
Of course.
John Bash, thank you, and come back soon. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Lou.